Alright, guys. We are live. This is going to be part 1. Maybe there'll be part 2. Maybe there'll be part 3. To be honest, we will just see. But this is going to be part 1 where I'm going to be reviewing price action for the entire week of October 18th, 2025. Looking at every little intricate detail and seeing what we can learn from price action. So, if you guys like this type of content, definitely consider leaving a like, subscribing, follow me on X, and also joining my completely free Discord. The link to that is in my bio. I don't know why I did an intro for that. Normally I don't do an intro to a live stream, but I don't know. I just decided to. So, alright, let's go ahead and start reviewing the week. Guys, there's this really funny Twitter space going on right now, and I was in it. I was listening, and the one dude who's hosting it, his name's Kid. He's so funny, bro. He just absolutely roasts this dude who asked the question. Just a simple question. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's called this ICT Advanced Concepts. It's pretty funny, and the funniest part was ICT himself was watching, so that's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and review price action. And I don't know if you guys were, any of you guys were watching ICT's lecture today. I honestly have been kind of spacing out that ICT's been streaming, but I just remembered today, like, yo, I could watch the ICT live stream, and I did. And it's kind of something Shani was showing me, but you can actually put a gradient on the old 4-hour candle like this, and then split this into fourths. I mean, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Wow, that's crazy. And then, yeah, look at how the market interacts with that. And you can do this with, like, just anything, honestly. Like, I think you can do it with, like, a whole entire candle. Like, you could maybe do this entire thing. Honestly, maybe this. Wow. Now that's cool, bro. I had no idea. I had no idea how powerful that was. That's pretty cool. Wait, we gotta dive further into this because this is crazy. Wait, I wonder if I do like this and this. Dang, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, the 4-hour candles work pretty well. How about the daily candles? Like, we could maybe grade this daily wick. Same thing. I need to get a new template for this, clearly. Oh, this one might be interesting. Yo, we make money next week? Yes, sir. Yes, we are. Dude, I don't know if you were watching the ICT live stream. I don't know if anyone else was, but I was checking it out, and he leaked some crazy sauce about how you can basically put a gradient on these old 4-hour wicks and candles, or honestly any higher time frame wick or candle. And, dude, it's precise. Like, I just did it with this one. Here, I'll show you. I just did it with this one. And you drag it over. Now, I'm going to need to make a new template for this because... But, like, use this as a confluence because, look. Right? Look at how the market just interacts with this. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's really cool. So, yeah, I'm going to make a new template for specifically for this. Let's see if this happened on the daily chart. Alright, good. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. That's totally valid. gosh. I am going to try this out. I wish I could do quadrants with the... I want to name these. I want to give a name to them. Maybe ICT quadrant. And then maybe, yeah, split this in half too. And let's do the same here. This might not be the best way to do it, but yeah, it's definitely not. Oh wait, I can set up, oh, I know what I can do. Let's put the scan tool on. We could make it look better. So what I can do is I can go right labels off. How did I make the premium discount one work? So I want to do something similar with this. See, I'm a little distracted right now, but that's because I want to set this up. Okay, we're getting closer. Okay, how do I want to do this? Background. Yeah, I kind of want to have a background. So yeah, sorry if I'm not talking that much, but I kind of want to set this up. Also, maybe I'm just more tired today. I don't know. Yeah, I don't quite like the look of that. How did I set this one up? Oh, I turned the occupancy down to 0. Turned off all the time levels. Oh. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that looks kind of nice. So I can make these, let's see, I can go, I don't like the look of that. It looks kind of ugly. Looks like a jail cell. Maybe like this, and then yeah, we can make them like a light premium and then like a darker premium. Then we could turn the but I gotta flip it. Yeah, that's just because this is what I like, bro. I like I like. This is just my personality. I've tried the changing the colors. Nah, I've tried changing the colors. I don't like it. It's just not. I don't know. Key to profitability? No, bro. Nah, it's just literally I'm just being me. I don't like. I tried other chart colors. They're not my vibe. My vibe is just keeping the chart how it is. I like it. I've tried it though. I just don't vibe with it. Just the regular chart. It's cool with me. I'm not here to try and pretend to be someone else that I'm not. I'm not gonna change my chart colors just because that's what you're supposed to do. Like, no. I'm gonna do what I want to do, which is keep the chart colors how they are. I just like them like this. Oh man, is this okay? What's the best way to mark out the quadrants? Do you guys think it should be like this? This is probably fine. Yeah, this is probably fine. We can just mark this out as PD quadrants. Or maybe we want to do different colors that are not red and green. Maybe I want here, we'll save this one first as PD quadrants. But maybe we just do shades of like blue or something, or orange. Let's see. Or maybe shades of purple. I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out what I like. No, this is so stupid, bro. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's fine. Just for now, until I think of something better, this is what I'm going to use. Okay. Let's just make sure this is set up correctly. Okay. So, the way you use this is you go, okay, let's put a gradient on a higher time frame candle. So, like, for instance, we could actually maybe even put a gradient on this thing. This thing. This might be a cool thing to put a gradient on, this whole entire 4-hour candle. And then we go like this. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, I gotta flip this. Okay. Let's try this again. So back to the higher time frame, put in a gradient on this 4-hour candle, and let's get rid of this. And look at how the market interacts with these quadrants. Well, we'll see if it does or not. This kind of interacted here. Maybe that one wasn't the best one to use. Yeah, I don't think that one was that good. I think the lower time frame wicks are the best. Like this one is just, this one's a really obvious one, and you can see that when we closed above it, we interacted with all of these. Which is kind of cool. Yeah, you just put a gradient on either an old wick or an old candle, and then use it as a use the quadrants as key levels. Or maybe what I could do, let's do another one where we do, let's switch it up. Let's do like that. This is another option for one that I'm gonna save. I don't know. I'm just kind of experimenting with the colors I like. Alright, should I review actual price action? I don't know, I'm getting kind of distracted with these quadrants. Like, I'm wondering even like on the weekly chart, putting quadrants on, like, I don't even know, like, seems like the opposing wick is usually pretty good to put quadrants on. So like this, that wick would be good. Like this wick would probably be pretty good. I don't know, you kind of just have to experiment and see what you like. I don't know, my favorite template so far has been probably this one. I guess I'm just low energy today. Let's look at more 1 hour wicks. Like, I'm so curious about this. Putting a gradient on this guy. Oh yeah. Dang, bro. Kind of decent, right? We reacted there. It's not perfect. I don't know, this is just how you learn and backtest, is by just observing. Right? We could put the whole gradient onto the 1 hour candle as a whole. Let's see if that does anything. Somewhat, yeah. Maybe reject here. I don't know, man. It's an interesting idea, interesting confluence. Obviously, it's working. Does that mean I know how to use it? Not necessarily, but it is definitely interesting. Okay, I don't know. That was just a little exploratory thing of what ICT taught today. I was just trying to understand it a little better, but now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go do my regular back testing and kind of observe what makes sense to me in these markets. But yeah, I'm gonna come back and do a bathroom break, and then I'll do that. When was this? Well, that was a long time ago, but this actually looks really clean. This 1 hour. Okay, I'm gonna go on a bathroom break. Alright, let's just start looking around at price action. Not looking for anything in specific, just kind of looking around, seeing what we can learn about the week. And yeah. It really is crazy how, there really is opportunity every single week. It's just, are you going to recognize it? Are you going to see it? It's pretty obvious 1 hour BPR there. And, we actually probably, it's always interesting to see, is there other confluences aligned with it? Hey, what up, Javier? I just got back from the bathroom, so I was gone. But this is something that I did not initially realize, but you can see this area where price kept projecting was actually a 1 hour BPR, and it became supercharged. And what do I mean by that? Well, we used it 1, 2, 3 times, and it's not easy to see this in the moment. I'm not saying it's easy to see this in the moment. In fact, it's just not easy to see this in the moment. It's really hard. It's super hard. But we use this 1 hour BPR 3 times. 1, 2. So this is a reclaimed fair value gap or a reclaimed BPR. We use it 3 times. So meaning I like to call it supercharged when we use it more than once. And then the third time, going to be very explosive. So if you ever see this in price action, this is the ultimate. This is a powerful, very powerful type of trade, and it came actually with a 90-minute SMT. Holy crap, dude! And when you look at it like this, it's like, oh wow, supercharged BPR, 90-minute SMT. This is just really obvious. So I watched you guys. I was already talking about this, but I watched ICT's live stream today. I think it's super cool putting a gradient on the wick, and I'll definitely use that as a confluence. But something to also understand is just, you gotta backtest the charts and then use everything that makes sense to you and slowly incorporate everything else. And that's, you don't want to hurt your brain. Like for me, you sometimes watch ICT and you're like, you might even watch me. You might be like, what the heck is he saying? And that's just, part of the learning process. But don't make yourself think like, oh, I just want to give up. These markets are too hard, because that's just never the case. If that makes sense. So 90-minute SMT at the lows, supercharged BPR. I don't know if that made any sense what I was saying, but it's okay. So supercharged BPR. And then something new I'm learning is, well, I do consider this change in state now. Before, Gary's right about the color theme. This is just my style. I'm not going to change it just because you guys want me to change it. I get what you guys are saying, but I like the default colors. I'm not just going to change it just because everyone else wants me to. I've tried other color schemes. They're just, I don't know. I'm not going to change them just to change them for people. I like them how they are. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And then, just a 5-minute change in state out of this. I mean, it's just my personality. Like, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. I like the basic one. I don't know. I like the basic. My personality is just like the basic one. I don't know. I don't want to have to switch my chart colors. I just like them how they are. I don't. It's so dumb. Like, I do not need to switch my chart colors. They're fine. And then yeah, this is just a very, very nice displacement candle. And 5-minute change in state. Yeah, it makes sense, bro. Everyone's different. For me, like, my personality is just, I don't know. I'm not gonna just switch chart colors just because everyone else wants me to. I'm gonna do me, and me is just, I like the basic ones. I've tried the other chart colors. I've seen them. I just like the basic feel. I don't know. It's just me. I don't feel like making it look different. It's just me. But I get what you guys are saying. Everyone's different. But yeah, one thing I'm realizing is CISDs can be in one candle, and it can be on the right hand side of the curve. And I used to think it had to be left hand side of the curve, and I used to think it had to be, like, sometimes it couldn't be one candle. It had to be a series. But no, it can be in one candle. Something new I'm learning. So you can see we get this change of state close right here, and then you can go long out of this. I'd probably put stop below the order block there. And the beauty of this is you can go break even pretty quickly. Target these highs. That's what I would do. Right, we might need to go on the lower time frame to find the exact projections, but it's pretty good. So 1 hour, supercharged BPR, 1, 2, 3. So this is a flow state. Maybe we could project out, one option for projections is just to project this out. I don't know if this is any good. It was okay. I think it'd be better to do a lower time frame projection. Oh, another option is to project it like this, where I put the stop loss from the order block to the stop loss. And actually, that was actually pretty nice. Order block body to low. Another option is do this. I don't think this is going to work very well. Oh, psych. Just kidding. That was decent. But yeah. I don't know. There's just a million ways you can do this. But for me, I'd just target these highs. Probably wouldn't even use a projection. And then you can go break even when we hit this external gap here. What up, Stagnator? How are you, bro? Actually, you can go maybe break even before that. How are you doing? I'm alright, bro. I'm alright. Just hanging out. Everyone tells me I have to do things differently, change my chart colors, stop doing me, and I'm like, nah, bro. I'm gonna do me. I like my basic chart colors, how they are. Everyone's hating on me, but I'm like, nah. I mean, they're not hating, but like, I don't know, man. I'm just not gonna just do something because other people think that that's what I should do. I'm not. I like the basic. I don't know. I've been getting kind of annoyed at like the most random stuff people say. I don't know why. Like earlier this week, I got annoyed with like everyone was saying like I can't trade the way that I do and I can't have my chart colors the way that I do, and I'm like, guys, if I had to just comply and cave in every single time someone told me I had to be a certain way, I would never be me. Like, I'm just gonna do me. I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird rant. It's kind of random, but this is just what I've been feeling lately. I feel like it gets inside my head a little bit, but like I said, I don't care what people think of me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing these streams. So it doesn't really matter anyway. So at least I try not to care what people think of me. As always, that's kind of the goal. But you know, like you're never perfect, obviously. I want to get to the point where I don't. So yeah, I like this a lot. And then we run up to that those low resistance highs. Honestly, and also, not to mention, I think we were below every single true open. We took them all out. That's actually a pretty nice confluence, actually. Let's mark that out. We had mid 7:30 that got taken. So true session open. There's a million reasons to like this, actually. 7:30 was taken. We had midnight taken. And then we could go down to a lower time frame on the 90-minute cycle. What's the next one? 10:52 for the 90-minute. We were definitely below 10:52. And then we could look for the 22-minute cycle. The last one. Can you help me to improve my accuracy? Go for it, bro. Okay, bet. The issue about this is you really have to be right. We have to get the entry right as it happens. That's the main difficult part about this trade. We're below 10:52 as well. And then the last one will be, so there's going to be true opens. So let's get rid of this. Take a fib, go to the 15-30-minute candle. Yeah. Yeah, Ice-T was just talking about this. I was just looking at it. It's pretty cool. You basically put a fib on it and put it into quadrants. And you put it into quadrants. Yeah, I was just watching Ice-T's live stream where he talks about this. Oh, not like that? Okay. I might do it later because I'm in the middle of trying to frame this trade here. 10. If you put it in the Discord, I'll try it out later when I'm not doing the middle of a trade or the middle of a backtesting thing. But show me later, like put it in the Discord, put a picture of it, and I'll take a look at it later. Or I'll just do it in this stream just after I kind of finish this. Okay. So yeah, what's the next true open? So 22. So 11:15. 11:37. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, dude. How long approximately? Maybe like 10 minutes. Wait, this is crazy, guys. 11:37. That's the true open for the 22-minute cycle, right? Wait, no, it's not. Okay, it's 11:21. We were below 11:21, and then 11:43. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Let's make sure we have both of those in our templates. 11:43, because that's 6 minutes after 11:37. So do you know why I think this is cool, guys? Why do I think this is cool? Because serving this time as a reference point would tell you, like, yo, 11:43 is a key time. We manipulate below it into our 2022 fair value gap perfectly after 11:43. Oh my gosh, what's 11:43, bro? Oh, 11:43. What time is that? 1, plus 1 is 2 plus 4, 7. Wait. 4. Wait. Oh, wait. Why is my brain not working? Okay. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 3 is 9. And when is the entry for the 2022 model? What? Oh my gosh. What? Guys, this is why you backtest the charts. Oh my gosh, this is why you backtest. Oh my gosh. You guys see how crazy that is? First of all, let's get rid of... I'll show you guys that after I finish framing this original trade, which is a 1 hour fair value gap, 5 minute change in state. Let's get rid of 1142 first. I just want to show this trade first. Oh my gosh. So this first trade, we were below 90-minute true open. We're below midnight. We're below 7:30. We have a 1 hour gap that's been reclaimed 3 times. I call that a specific name. I call this supercharged. So S, supercharged for value gap. It's just a stronger gap. And then 5 minute change of state out of it. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to move these out of the way. So 1, 2, 3, 5 minute change in state. I'd enter off of that, out of the 1 hour BPR, up to those highs. Let's get rid of this first too. And then I'll show you guys what I was just looking at, which is crazy. So you could target this high, and then maybe you would leave a runner for these bodies or something. That's up to you, honestly. I'd probably just be content with that. Just being realistic, right? I don't need to go for anything crazy. Guys, this is so crazy. Okay, hold up. What is this, Friday? 11:35. Oh wow, I have a lot of trades from Friday already. I've been backtesting a while on Friday, huh? Okay, 11:35. Flow state close. 1 hour aligning with the 5 minute. Okay guys, this is the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing. We're gonna show you the crazy thing. 11:35. Flow state close. 1 hour BPR, 5 minute change in state. Okay, here's what's crazy, right? We have a 2022 model on the 1 minute. If you can't tell, it's pretty obvious. We use this higher time frame key level, this BPR. Once again, a stronger BPR. That's why I have a lightning bolt. We have a time-based SMT at the low with sweep of the bodies. And then we clearly have a break of structure, right? We clearly have a break of structure. So liquidity sweep, break of structure with amazing displacement, right? Break of structure with amazing displacement. You can mark it out like this. You can mark it out like this. It doesn't really matter how you mark it. I guess just mark it out like that. Actually, so you can see it a little better, I guess I'll mark it out like this, right? So we break this high. Okay, you starting to see what I'm getting at? We are below the other true open as well. And then what happens? So 1052. Let's pull that up again. So 1052. This is insane, guys. So dragging this out, bang. Dragging this out, bang. So we had taken midnight and 7:30 one last time. We get a liquidity sweep, a break of structure. Let's actually mark it out like that now. and then a fair value gap that forms after the displacement. Amazing displacement, by the way. So yeah, we manipulate our true opens, our higher time frame ones, into the higher time frame BPR. This is a supercharged BPR. Why do I call it supercharged? This is just the name that I made up to describe this phenomenon I've seen in the market that occurs where when you have a reclaimed fair value gap that gets used 3 times or more, it's going to be a super strong gap to frame a model out of. So we've used it 3 times, so I'm marking it out as just a supercharged gap. It's stronger. We get amazing displacement out of this high. We're going up into the macro time. So we're below our 90-minute true open. What time is our 22-minute true open, guys? What time is the 22-minute true open? What time is it? 11:43. 11:43. What happens next, guys? Instant wick into our 2022 fair value gap. If this doesn't make you excited, I don't know what does, dude. This is crazy. All right, instant wick down into our 2022 fair value gap. I'm gonna mark it out like this on the 1 minute. And then, what time was that? What time was that? 11:43. What is that? And one thing I've noticed, guys, is I think 9 is the highest probability 369 time, I think, from what I've seen. But 11:43. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 4 is 6. Plus 3 is 9. Hey, what up, BLJ? How's it going? Guys, this is insane. Like, the precision is insane. The odds we get the exact push down into the 2022 fair value gap of our higher time frame model occurring exactly at 11:43, which is 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 3 equals what? 9, bro. 9. Our entry is below every single true open right as we tap the fair value gap right at 9. Going into our macro, which is 11:50 to 12:10. It just doesn't it just make you excited? The possibilities once we master this, bro. Oh my gosh, just insane. Absolutely insane. Unbelievably insane, actually. So yeah, circling this, right? This is exactly at 11:43, which is below our 22-minute true open, which we also already manipulated midnight. We manipulated 7:30. We were below 10:52, which is the 90-minute true open, and then we take the last true open, right at 11:43. I honestly want to check to see if it's a GB range. I don't want it to ruin things because like what if it's not fit? What if it doesn't fit in? But I'm gonna look at it. I'm just too excited not to look at it, bro. What? Imagine if it was a GB for value gap. If it was a GB for value, I might fall out of my chair. I seriously might lose it. I might start making animal noises, bro. If this thing is the gold block for value gap partition, we're gonna have to turn it up a dealing range. The fair value gap, So this is something I've noticed. We do sweep liquidity into the bottom part of this partition, and the fair value gap forms. Yeah. Anyway, wait. Let's pull down one dealing range just in case. Because it, like maybe. Okay, never mind, guys. That was disappointing, but still, right? Crazy precise. Liquidity sweep, breaker structure, 1143. So, yeah, wow. Crazy, crazy stuff. I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this. 1143. 2022 for value gap, 1 minute. Number 1. Just this is the first image of it. And then let's show how you would take it, right? Let's get rid of this. 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 Let's get rid of all the extra stuff on the chart and just show straight up how you take this, right? Well, for me, I would take this entering at that fair value gap. Stop. I just put stop below the breaker. I would say I don't think we would come below the breaker at that point. And if we did, then it'd kind of just defeat the point. You could even have your stop more aggressive if you wanted to, like maybe below that. But that's just depending on personal preference. So I'd probably go there. And then, and once again, you could put stop below the highest up close candle. And you might be able to get away with this. And then, bang. Let's just say that we did it like that. Up to the LRLR. And let's project out the manipulation leg. And yeah, we go 4 standard deviations up, which aligns with that high. So honestly, that's what I would target. This looks like this is the high of New York AM session. Yeah, so I guess that was the obvious draw on liquidity. It was New York AM high. And obviously I'd scale out in this case, but the final take profit is New York AM high. You could just target this high though. Perfectly fine. Like here. Yeah, I'd definitely take profit here. So you can see low resistance highs here. And then maybe you have a runner going to AM, or if you want to be a DGen, you could take all off of AM. I don't know. For me, I realistically just target here and then make money. And that would be actually quite a bit of money because, yeah, that's 2.6. So yeah, this is same thing, 1143 2022 model. I mean, I wish I could have seen all that in the moment. How cool would that be? Easier said than done. But 1143 2022 model, 1 minute. Number 2. And then the final way you could take this is if you wanted to be a DGen, you could leave the runner to go target the 4th. Once again, project out this final manipulation here. Bang, bang. Where do we go? 4 standard deviations up. Perfectly. So that's for high conviction type of person who really wants to make a lot of money. I guess. You don't need to do that. That's 5R. It's pretty clean. The key to the 2022 model is displacement. As I always say. $11.43 2022 model, 1 minute, number 3. And then we'll do one more image where I show off the 369 time again, right? 11:43 is equals 9. Let's just mark it out like that. I don't know. I don't like that emoji. Nah. No emoji. I changed my mind. I'm going to put this one in the Discord. This one was clean. That's crazy, bro. I'm gonna put in bold. Friday. 50% of last week's Friday range. I'm gonna look at that right after this. Hang on. one. I want to show one with the normal size stop loss. Because the stop loss, if you want to be conservative, obviously you could have had a bigger one. Okay, I guess I gotta take another screenshot of one with a bigger stop loss. So, you know, a more reasonable way to take it would be obviously like this. Just kind of depends on how you want to take it. Yeah, October 10th daily range. Okay, I'm going to look at that right after this. Just want to show how the stop loss kind of is a little unrealistic. But it just kind of depends on your own personal risk tolerance, I guess. That's so clean. Okay, well, yeah, I'll look at that. I guess let's get rid of everything else now. That's kind of cool. Okay, October 10th daily range. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a really nice one to mark out. Wait, did I do this wrong? You mean the body? The range of the body? Maybe my chart's different than yours. Either way, it's very cool stuff, bro. Very cool, and I've noticed the same thing as well. Alright, I'm gonna take a little break, guys. That was like that just, I don't know, that seeing stuff like that in the market just makes you smile. Like the precision is just crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little break. I'll come back. Just beautiful precision. Oh my gosh. Nah, bro, use the wicks. It didn't line up for me. But I believe you, bro. I believe you. I just don't know why it didn't line up for me. But I believe you. It's crazy how precise these markets are. Crazy. Oh, dang, now there's 7 watching. That's crazy. Okay. Gonna take a little break, and then I'll come back. We'll keep backtesting. And I finally cleaned my room, so I'm not as much of a mess as I was last week, bro. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep backtesting. And yeah, see what else to look at. I mean, this was very, very cool. I don't know how we're gonna top this, but honestly, you never know. We probably will. I'm not gonna lie. There's just so much interesting stuff. That's insane, bro. That is insane. Yeah, let's keep backtesting. Okay, so as I said, amazing key level here, 1 hour BPR. Something I was just thinking about is how can we identify this BPR as high probability? We can measure this out. Wait. I think Ice-T was talking about this. I could be totally wrong, by the way, but like he was saying like the PD rays that form in this quadrant are the strongest for bullish, and the PD rays that form in this quadrant are strongest for bearish. That could be something to take into account. I'm not even sure if that's true or not, but I think he said something like that today. I don't know, kind of hurt my brain. It's kind of hard watching Ice-T because I sometimes he'll release some crazy sauce. Sometimes I'm like, I don't get it. But you know what? We just keep moving forward and we just do what makes sense to us, right? But yeah, this 1 hour BPR was in discount of this higher time frame range. So that's one reason you could have recognized it as a higher probability BPR to hold. It was in discount. This 90-minute SMT was beautiful. I'm honestly really surprised this wasn't in a GB range. Like, part of me thinks, like it had to be. Like, this is just too perfect to not fit inside of a range, dealing range. Maybe it did and I just messed it up. Let's get rid of this. Maybe it was just a really high time frame range. That'd be crazy. we swept liquidity into the low of this dealing range. This higher time frame one. Oh my gosh. We might be about to just go crazy right now. Look at the fair value gap forming right here in the fair value gap partition. Oh my gosh, things might get crazy going into next week. Right, we left this fair value gap in that fair value gap partition perfectly. We might just go all the way back up to all-time highs, bro. Oh my gosh. Just a thought. And then here we had the order block form in the OB partition. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to look at that for just a second. Honestly, yeah, I'm still pretty bullish going into next week. I mean, this projection. What else do we look at, guys? I never know what to look at, and then I always find something interesting. It just takes a while. Oh, look at that. We have this 15-minute change in state. Yo, that's crazy. Right? We project out the change in state to the low. And we tap OTE. Wait. Okay, wait a second. Hold up. I have an idea. What happens... So we take this 4 hour gap we talked about from forever ago, by the way. we take this 4-hour for value gap from forever ago. We call this a supercharged gap, meaning it's my own name I made up for whenever a reclaimed gap is used 3 times or more. It's just very, very strong to frame a model off of. So here's a fair value gap. That's crazy, bro. BLJ, that's crazy, dude. It's really insane how precise these markets are, dude. It really is. You just have to look. Most people don't have the care or the will to look. They just say, I just don't believe it, and then they just give up. So we use this gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever we use a gap more than 3 times, to me that's kind of like basically it's like the fair value gap's getting charged up to frame a high time frame model, right? This we used it 5 times, so very strong fair value gap here. 4-hour supercharged gap. And what I learned, very subtle thing I learned from ICT's mentorship today, but all order blocks are going to be changing states. This is something very subtle. He doesn't like necessarily say that on ever. He's never even ever said that, but you kind of just get the vibe like, wait a second. So you get the vibe, a series of down close candles is an order block. The last down close candle is an order block. Closing above a series of down close candles is a change in state. Closing above the last down close candles is a change in state. Wait, order blocks are just changing states. They're interchangeable. You get this vibe. You start to realize this. This is something I've been realizing recently. And so normally when I mark out change in state, I'd say, okay, we don't get the change in state till here, right? And then, we end up using it, right? We backtest the wick, and then we continue higher. But one thing I realized is we could actually say, no, change in state actually occurred. At the very lowest level, change in state occurred right here. And it seems crazy, but you know why this order block is strong? Is because it took out the low here, right? And this actually might have been previous day's low. Yeah, so this order block took out a previous day's low, meaning it's going to be a very strong order block. Let's check this out. Previous day's low got taken. I honestly don't remember if there was S&T here. There might have been. It would have been cool if there was, but I'm not quite sure. I don't even think there was. There wasn't with S&P. Either way, though, pretty strong order block here, which I'm using interchangeably as change in state of delivery. And so we take that, here's CISD. And as you guys know, the wick of the order block, a lot of time you want to enter on that because you won't get an entry otherwise. It's just something to know. And check this out, right? Taking that wick, which actually took out internal liquidity as well, you can see that this was a even more of a sniper entry off of this 4-hour gap, right? So we could actually call this our 15-minute change in state. Now, maybe you want to use a different kind of key level because you could argue like this might be too deep down into that 4-hour gap to still use it. I don't really know. I just kind of observe and learn, but there might have been a 4-hour rejection block instead. That would have been better. Or maybe you would want to have used this gap instead, right? These are all things to consider, but either way, right? 4-hour gap. Either way, take a look at this last down close candle. Actually kind of curious. This is something that Algo does, but you are right, bro. And a closure of the order block is what validates it as change in state. Exactly. It's all interchangeable. Order blocks change in states. They're all the same. It's the same. And when you realize this, a whole new world of opportunity shows up because you realize, oh wow, that's what makes the entry possible. That is the entry. The order block is the change in state, which is the entry, via higher time frame key level, liquidity sweep, change in state, which is order block. So check this out, right? We can project out the order block, and I would do it like this. And you can see, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You have to admit, guys, if smart money was not taking an entry off that order block, it would be impossible for us to perfectly go 8 projections of it to the essentially the tick, like within a few points. It'd be impossible. It would be literally impossible if smart money was not entering using that order block. It'd be impossible. And we can actually use stat map as a confluence here too, by the way. This is just so cool. I mean, doesn't it just get you hyped? It gets me hyped, bro. And we were, in this case, we were below midnight and we were below 130. So we're at a discount relative to time. Let's actually pull up this 4-hour for value gap again. We might even need to use it as a 1-hour gap. Yeah, I guess maybe the 5-minute might even be better. Which means we're not using that same 15-minute one. Wait, I'm going to look. Let's project this out. Yeah, not nearly as precise. I guess let's consider it a 4-hour one then. Yeah, fine. It is just interesting. You just learn so much from just observing the market and what happened. So actually, let's check out statistical mapping. I want to look at both the daily session and the London session and see if we went near statistic. Yeah, we went to statistical max daily bearish distribution, which means it's going to be hard for us to go much past this without a reversal. That's what this means. On a bearish day, this is the max you'll extend. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, this is our daily max statistical distribution. And then we can go to London session, and we can look at the statistics of that. And pull this over. Oh wow, London session just got the stat map was not helpful at all. Okay, never mind. But yeah, obviously these were low resistant highs, and yeah, the market just went up to them. Not saying this is a high probability trade. It obviously is going to be kind of risky, but it's kind of cool to see how the market did end up playing this out here. So yeah, all of this is rocket fuel to expand for the market to expand higher off of. Actually, let's just mark it out like this. I don't know, sometimes you just kind of learn, observe, sometimes you make stupid observations, and guess what? The stupid observations don't matter because you don't ever have to use them in your trading ever. But the more observations you make, the more you learn, the better you get. So even if this is just completely just stupid, I still journal it and learn from it because it's like, wow, yeah, we had a higher time frame PD array, we had a 15-minute change in state, we used the wick of it, then we expanded, and as well, we were perfectly at I showed you guys this. If we measured out the other 15-minute change in state, the one from the body, we actually were perfectly at the OTE, forget what it's called. The orange one. The 0.70. Oh, the sweet spot. And then, yeah. Kind of cool. Now, obviously, it's kind of a risky trade, but I don't know. Just kind of like learning and just seeing what opportunities there might be. It's definitely a risky trade. Not even might. This is definitely risky. But it's conceptualized based off of these being low resistance highs and then delivery through them. I will mark this out. I will journal it. Okay. 6:15. This is flow state retest 4 hour 15-minute. Bang. Oh. Oh, and then the other thing to know about this, guys, is true opens. Let's actually look at the I'm not even going to lie, I don't like the 4 hour 5-minute one. It's just not that obvious. But what is obvious is this 1 hour gap. This is very obvious, and then a 5-minute change in state out of this is very obvious. So I like this one a lot better. And I would use the higher change in state here. So I like this one a lot better, if I'm being completely real. All right, we had an external sweep of previous day's low, and then we had like a little internal sweep here. Whoops. So then we get a 5-minute change in state. Once again, this is a 1 hour gap, not a 4 hour. This is a 5-minute change in state. Bro, you would be a beast if you had the fib sequence for time based on ICT's logo. I've looked into it. Honestly, I don't know how to use it, so I don't use it. I only use what I understand. I mean, very well could be real. I don't know how to use it, so I don't try and I want to learn, but I don't know how to use it right now, so that's okay, is what I'm saying. And then we can enter this via an inducement of this low here. Like, nice little inducement entry right here. And what's nice about all of this, what makes this a super nice entry is... what makes this a super nice entry is... So there's that low resistance liquidity. And I'm kind of cutting through candles here because this is where the curve looks nice. So we can mark this out as manipulation. Honestly, I would just go 4 projections up on this one So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see how that lines up well with those highs. That's honestly what I would target. Oh, kind of depends on how lucky you get here, but depending on how you project this, it's very possible that you could have caught this high. Honestly, though, it kind of depends. Like, yeah, bro, I think it's cool, but I don't know. So yeah, you could either get lucky here or you might just get wrecked. Honestly, no. Let's just not target the fourth in this case, because I don't know. This is just, we obviously have an external gap here. There's no reason to try and shoot through that, in my opinion. I would just take all off in front of that. Do you know how to use it? Maybe you can teach me a thing or two. That'd be kind of cool. But I think it's very interesting. I think there might be something to it. I just never figured it out. So, okay, so entry via an inducement of this low. 5-minute order block projection. So external sweep of previous day's low. Honestly, let's mark out the LRLR like this. The whole thing. Actually, yeah, see this looks yummy. This looks, I just want to, oh man, that just looks good. Like, I just want to target that so bad. I can see their stop losses there. Actually, let's just do previous day's low sweep. Okay, so we swept our previous day's low, and then, manipulation. Obviously, this is a really strong gap. The thing about this is there's not really any S&T. I'm pretty sure there's not, which I don't know. Because of that, that's a good reason for me to have not taken this trade, but let's just be theoretical here. Like, maybe I would take it, right? And then inducement of this low. Oh, I remember the other thing I was going to look at. I want to see if this fits in GB partition. Let's go down to the 243. I mean, when it's not obvious, it makes GB look stupid, but the times it is obvious, you're just like, oh yeah, that's obvious that works. Like here, this is somewhat clean, right? We swept out liquidity into the low. We might have got some kind of 2022 model down here. I'm not sure. We might need to pull this up a dealing range, actually. Anyway, just kind of making observations. Maybe this one's not super obvious. That's fine. I'm just making observations right now. Maybe we could look at the 1 minute at like 4. Oh, I remember the other thing. I was going to look at true opens, right? We have midnight, which we were below. And then we have 1:30, which we were below. And by the way, guys, observe how the manipulation for the distribution to go run London session occurs above 1:30 to go to the downside. Just beautiful. $130. And then I guess this is such an interesting thing. So I guess if this was a London, what was this? London, look at this daily profile. This is a London reversed, New York continued. The last quarter of... Ooh, this is getting really interesting. So the last 90-minute cycle of London is probably X, meaning we're probably reversing or consolidating. I don't know. And observe 452. It'd be crazy if we came down there. Okay, I wanna see validation on this. I wanna make sure this is real. 452. Holy crap. What? What on earth? This is a movie, bro. This isn't real. Bro, what? There's a primary and secondary sequence which uses ICD's profiles. Yeah, I gotta understand it more. Dude. Oh my gosh. Trader Day is a genius, man. I don't know how else to put it other than that. That dude is a genius. How did he figure this out? So no way, bro. That's just insane. What is that? That's a 90-minute true open. But the thing about it is we actually... This is getting weird. This is getting weird because we don't use it within the cycle that it was in. I don't know. Maybe I'm making stuff up at this point, but that's still pretty cool. Okay, I don't know, man. Because what the reason I'm kind of getting second thoughts is because yeah, this is right below 452 that we get the manipulation, but this is not in that 90-minute cycle that it's supposed to be referring to. It occurs like way later, at like after 6 o'clock. But hey, if it's an observation, then it's an observation. We just gotta learn from it. So the true open for the previous cycle was still used. Just an interesting thought. But that could have given you conviction to be long to go all the way back up. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Even if it was used in the next cycle over, it's still pretty cool. The fact that we were below midnight, below 130, below 452, and then that was what bottom ticked it. I mean, even if it was the next cycle, so what? Like, I don't care, man. That's still sick. And I think we're below the true week open as well. So, something to think about. We might have even been below true month open. We were. Yeah, true month open is right here. Yeah, that's crazy. True month open was right there. We were below true week open too, which is up here. Alright. And then expansion to go. Target these low resistance highs. And you could also consider a 22 model. Pretty obviously, actually. So, flow state. I don't know if we should call them flow state inducement anymore. I thought we're. I'm still gonna keep naming it flow state inducement for now, because. $6.15. Yeah, I'm still gonna call it flow state inducement. I'm gonna have flow state inducement for any time like you take the entry below the retest of the change in state of delivery. And then a flow state retest for any time you take the retest of the change in state of delivery. And then close for any time you take the close. It was definitely a 2022 model at the lows too. Like, if I really drop down here, like we might need to go down the 3 minute, maybe the 1 minute. Yeah, we fill this. This is a nice fair value gap. Maybe it's best on the 3 minute though. Or maybe the 5 minute. Yeah, I don't mind. Even though it's not I break a structure, I can still tell it's probably going to get held. So 1 hour, and then we align this with a 5-minute 2022 model. So I would take this as a 2022 plus, meaning we find our 2022 model, which is this would be on the 5-minute, and then you wait for an aligned time frame change in state of delivery out of that 22 gap. Obviously, easier said than done, but and then oh, look at that, equilibrium tapped. And then we can align this with a 30-second and just kind of see what happened here. And then yeah, 30-second change in state. This one is the obvious one, right? And then I like this change in state. Oh my gosh, I'm getting better at trading. I can just before I'd be like, oh, I have to use this old left-hand side of this the chart's change in state. Nah, bro, this change in state. Use this one. Oh my gosh. You can just tell I'm getting better. Like, look. This one's obviously better. Inducement of this low. So the reason I'm calling this inducement is because, well, I considered this manipulation, so we're on the right hand side of the curve now. And then I'm considering this inducement below equilibrium. And like I have said a lot, the market, it's going to have lower time from AMD inside higher time from AMD. So you can see here that, right, this is its own AMD. And this is what ICT was talking about in the, I think, his video today, actually. Right at the start of the macro. And then bang. And then we can project this order block out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. Imagine taking that 16 standard deviations up. Imagine taking a 32 up. That'd be crazy. So yeah, we induce the low and the equilibrium. And then 5-minute change in state. Both of these are good. You might have got stopped at break even there. I don't know. So I'd probably take the close. And then what I'd realistically do is I'd take the close. I'd probably get break evened out, huh? I was thinking maybe take the close, stop loss here, and then targeting those highs. You definitely get break evened out. So let's just say you took this as a retest though, like a incredibly impressive and disciplined trader, which is hard to do, and you just didn't go break even. Well, like let's say you did that, then you would definitely have banked. But it's not easy. Let's say you took this right at the start of the macro, actually. That'd be crazy. It's like a inducement of an inducement of an inducement, bro. That's what this is. Because what was this? This was already inducement. So now this is another inducement. Kind of insane if you think about it, really. So you go like this. Do you prefer closure over retest? If there's obvious draw on liquidity and I know that we're ready to go run it, we don't need to retest it, that's when I enter on close. Because when you enter on a close, the reasoning is we should be going to go run liquidity right then. That's the whole point. Otherwise, you'd wait for a retest, right? Just kind of depends on the context. I probably prefer close because I don't like a lot of drawdown on my trade, and obviously you can get in on a good retest one too, but I don't know. Close, if you take the close right, a lot of time you don't have to deal with drawdown, and I do like that. And then you can go break even too pretty fast. Okay. So 4 standard deviations up. So I would consider this 22 plus. I don't usually enter on a retest for a 22 plus, but let's just say that we took this as a close, though. Let's just say that we did. And I think we could find a trade there as well. Oh, let's show that this is the macro. That's the main reason we like this trade anyways, because the macro. Right. And then I'm going to mark it out until 7. Because even though it goes till 7:10, I'm just going to show it from the entry to kind of where I was targeting. Yeah, I think I was gonna stop calling flow states flow state inducement, but I think I'll just have 3 different versions of the way I notate it. I'm gonna do flow state entry via close, flow state entry via retest, which is like anytime I enter on the retest, and then inducement, which will be anytime I enter at below an old low below the change in state. Flow state, close. No, flow state. No, this is a 2022 model plus. 5 minute, 30 second. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, the other thing I wanted to look at was, let's just say that we took the change in state on a closure. And I don't think this is a bad trade. You would definitely, I would have gone break even. There'd be no reason not to. Good chance I could have got break evened out, unless I just said, okay, I'm going to take profit at 2 standard deviations up, which would have been actually right at that high. So theoretically, I could have gotten a 1.6 to 1 just off of this little thing. Theoretically. And then we ended up going break even. Yeah, I think this would be just like a pretty clean, simple, high probability change in state closure. Be 1.6. Not the most high probability trade in the world, but plus it was right at 8:30 or no 6:30. Sorry. Honestly, this one I might just consider it. Nah, I'll consider it flow state because it had a higher time frame gap. If there's not a higher time frame key level, I just consider it a CISD close. Yeah, 6:30. Not the most obvious trade in the world, guys. I don't know. Sometimes you just kind of just note what you see, even sometimes if it's not perfect. It's not the most obvious thing in the world, but I think you should consider a retest to the change date before going break even. It just depends on the context. I mean, yeah, and that's the other thing. BLJ is like, it depends on context and conviction, and that's a screen time thing. Like sometimes I just know to go break even right away because of draw on liquidity. I would know that we should not come back, and there's just certain times for that to be the case. So yeah, it just kind of depends. But yeah, that's up to you and your own personal back testing. No one else can really make that decision for you. You know what's interesting is the way we come through that old where was it? Maybe I'm getting a little tired. I might have to just continue this later tonight. What else do we look at? I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I've been saying I've liked this daily gap quite a bit, and I think that we'll expand out of it to the upside. It's just my guess. Just because of the sweep, it looks like pretty strong to the upside, but could be wrong. So yeah, daily for a gap. Yeah, I think it depends on context and conviction when you go break even. We ended up getting a 1 hour change in state there. Ooh. We can apply the concept we talked about before to the daily, and all of a sudden actually we can use, oh wow, what a concept. What concepts are you studying at the moment? The most recent new concept that I learned about was putting the higher time frame wicks and the higher time frame candles into gradients. But this is so interesting. We can actually use this. Let's say we use this as a change in state because, well, obviously this is really good momentum, so we could just say, okay, this is probably going to hold. Fascinating. Now, obviously I would have loved to use the lower one, but we don't close above it. You know, I just learned from the market. Let the market teach me, and it's like, yo, this is kind of cool, right? We obviously had, it's like an inversion for, it's essentially an inversion for value gap. That's what it is. Delivering from this NWOG too. Let's just call the NWOG like this. Even though I know technically it goes down there, I don't know. So I want to mark this out as both an inversion and a change in state, right? We have a daily fair value gap, 1 hour change in state. Let's make a new folder for Saturday. Oh, let's show how this is supercharged. The more things you observe in price action, the better. Obviously, the NWOG is down here, I know, but yeah, so let's make a new folder for Saturday. So 10, 18, 25. I might take a break and come back later. Like, meaning like a real break, like I might end the stream. I mean, there's a million things you can look at. Daily fair value gap to 1 hour. CISD off NWOG. Daily supercharged gap, actually. And then same with this being a 1 hour inversion using multiple candles as one. Like I could go, all right, just gonna merge all these candles together, and now, oh yeah, that's a good inversion. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream, and I might do more backtesting later, but as of right now, I'm gonna be done. But it's always interesting just to mark up stuff you learn and keep going. Yeah, see you later, bro. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream. Peace out, everyone. I'm gonna be back for part